Hi guys, big up everyone. Please keep watching Transit TV. Don't touch that dial.
Keep watching Transit TV.
Oh, Shandais, he's an expert in shutting teams down. He works teams out good, and this is not the first time this is happening to us now against Everton. Even when he was coaching Burnley became a pain in the ass for Arsenal as well. You know, some guys need to be respected a little bit because this is the way he has chosen to coach, and it works for him. The teams that he coaches do not have the quality to win titles, but he goes into teams and makes it difficult to beat and prevents Transit TV, welcome back again. EPL Saturday, Arsenal 0, Everton 0. On the weekend, Liverpool 2 and Fulham 2. Fulham doing business there for Arsenal, but Arsenal failing to capitalize and close the gap on Liverpool. And it's looking more and more likely, that Arsenal will not challenge for the title this season. Yes, a lot of people are still saying that the league is there are still too many games to go. But 9 points, the way Liverpool are playing, and the way Arsenal are lacking consistency so far this season, is looking more and more likely that Arsenal will not win this league. And unfortunately for Arsenal fans, on a year that it looks like Manchester City are not going to be in this one, Arsenal, considering what they have done the last 2 seasons, was even with Manchester City coming to this season, a lot of people predicted Arsenal will win this league, but the way things are going, it looks very unlikely that Arsenal will win this league this season. And this brings us to 5 things we learned today on Arsenal 0, Everton 0. Partey at 6 is different from Declan Rice. Declan Rice started this game as the number 6 for Arsenal today, looking very solid and mobile, but you could see there was something different, there was something missing for Arsenal. And Declan Rice gave a very energetic and very present in that position, but something was missing, and I think he affected us now today, which is the line breaking passes, which is positioning, because Declan Rice, of course, he's a workaholic, he's busy, he gets around the pitch, which gets him out of trouble sometimes out of position. But Thomas Partey, having played in that role for a very long time, understands the role, and there is a way he dominates the game for Arsenal from that position, and there's a way his positioning also helps the team to get up the pitch. Odegaard with Thomas Partey stays a little bit higher, and Partey still find a way to find Odegaard with the balls and do damage to opponents. But today, the Rice playing in that position was very different. The build-up was different, and I think this is something that Arteta needs to work on. I know you have to manage players, I know you have to manage minutes, but there are players, if you notice, in other teams that play. Thomas Partey will be having injury issues, but you just have to start him from the look of things, and Arsenal suffered from that today. And even when he came in as the number 2 instead of the 6, and Jorginho was in that position. We know what Jorginho brings, but it's still different from Partey. Partey, it has shown that, and each time Arteta tries to solve this problem, he causes problem in 2 positions. Partey is not the best right back for Arsenal, and whoever is going to replace him in the middle is not the best 6 for Arsenal. So you're having problem issues in 2 teams, in 2 positions in the team in a game, and which is more difficult to deal with. So Arteta might have to look at this one. The second thing that we learned is this Arsenal team is a great team. They are built to play a certain way. They have their pattern, they have their philosophy, which they are very good at. But when you think back, great teams that have won things, They don't just win because they have the elements of a team, but they always had few individuals who have their moments in games consistently. They have a lot of individual brilliance in the games that they win. Because if you want to win titles, there are going to be days like this. There are going to be days that the team thing is not going to work. There are going to be days that opponents is going to work out the way you play and nullify it. But what now digs you out is individual brilliance, either as a defender or as a striker or as a midfielder. That is one thing that is lacking in this team. Yes, Bukayo Saka most of the time does that, but not just him, and not enough. So as this team lacks some individual brilliance, players, 2-3 players who can pick up the ball and run at opponents and create their own moments, decide games. Salah does it for Liverpool. We know the old Arsenal, Thierry Henry sometimes digs the team out. Patrick Vieira sometimes scores some long-range goals. With players like Robert Pires, if you go to Real Madrid of old, you know that Ronaldo sometimes can create the magic. Barcelona, Messi does it for them. You have Messi, you have Iniesta, and all this other. So all the great teams, like even the Manchester City, you know that KDB sometimes it looks lackluster, and KDB from nowhere, does his magic and digs the team out. Last season, we saw Foden do that for Manchester City as well. So many times, his individual brilliance opened up a game. So this is something that Arsenal needs to work on. This is something Arteta needs to find a way and give these players a little bit more freedom to sometimes, pick something out of their pocket. He tried to do that today by introducing Nwaneri a little bit earlier than he has been doing so far this season. But Nwaneri, being a young player, you don't get this consistency from them week in, week out. It takes them time to get to that point. So today he was anonymous, and the way Everton set up made it difficult for him to flourish. So yeah, this team, if they want to win the title, if they want to win trophies, there has to be individual brilliance. There have to be players who grab the game by the scruff of the neck and decide how the game span out. And that is what we saw today. The team lacked that, and Arsenal was way better than Everton, but it just needed that one goal, to open up the game, and it never came. And today, the third thing we learned too, that Arsenal, we are very, very inefficient, especially in the final third. And the headmaster in that regard is Captain Martin Odegaard, who has been very, 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 very important for Arsenal this season. But today, in fact, the last 2-3 games, he has really been found wanting in terms of in front of goal, unable to finish his meals and bail the team out. Today, a lot of the chances fell to him, and he could not convert, just like the game before. But unfortunately, nobody else, stood up, and it made that the chances went begging. Martinelli was very, very as he has been, and that's another thing. Martinelli needs to figure out what is wrong with him. Is that his ceiling, or is something wrong with him? Because his final action, his decision making and execution has been very, very poor for this team. The same with Odegaard. Saka had the same issue today. No Arsenal player was able to beat the first man with their pullouts, and when they did, it was too high or too close to Pickford, and that's the story of Arsenal. And even in the middle of the park, even defensively, the only player that was immaculate today was William Saliba and maybe Gabriel. The team back going forward, abysmal. Saka couldn't be the first man with his pullouts, most of his pullouts. The same with Martinelli and of course Odegaard. Kai Havertz was anonymous in the game as well. Yeah, so efficiency. I know sometimes you're going to get games like this, you get tired, it looks like everything is not going your way, but you just have to find out one moment, especially in the day that Liverpool failed to win or we are struggling, and you still go ahead and draw as well. You cannot win the league this way. You cannot just win. And this is not just a product of because they did not win today. This has been the case of Arsenal sometimes. They are very ineffective when it comes to games like this. And another thing we found out today, though I mentioned this in my last video, Arsenal does not have options. Arsenal does not have quality in depth. They don't have squad depth enough to challenge for the title, and this is going to be their undoing. When you look at the team sheet today, you say they have injuries. When you look at those injuries, there is mostly defenders. Ateta has just 13 or 15 players to work with. He's been doing that for the 2-3 seasons now. He can't be 3 times lucky. Arsenal needs to sign players. Look at teams like Chelsea. When they make substitutions, they have about 7-8 players for the front 3 position. And when they make substitutions, quality does not go down. Liverpool, the same thing. Liverpool can go with Nunes, Gakpo, Diaz, Curtis Jones, Diego Jota, Mohamed Salah. There's a lot of options and almost at the same level of quality. Arsenal, if they really want to compete for titles this season, this January, they need to sign players, sign a striker and a left winger. There's no way, you can't escape it. Ateta needs to rethink it. If he was thinking like we're going to do that magic again, you can't keep going. People like Trossard today looked like they were out of their depth, and sometimes it happens for players. It's not that they're not good enough, but it just happens. Sometimes it just dries up. So you need other people to step up and carry you during that period, and then until you get back to it. Gabriel Jesus, Raheem Sterling, these are not options. These people cannot win you league or win you trophies with those options. So Arsenal, the owners, Ateta, they need to rethink it and find a way to get options, quality options at the top end of the table for this team. And lastly, you respect your Mourinho, you respect your Pep Guardiola, Wenger, Alex Ferguson, and all the rest of them who have attacking philosophy. Some respect needs to be put in the name of Sean Dyche. Sean Dyche is the best at what he does. And he has been doing it just like when you had Allardyce as well. Sean Dyche, he's an expert in shutting teams down. He works teams out good, and this is not the first time this is happening to us now against Everton. Even when he was coaching Burnley became a pain in the ass for Arsenal as well. Some guys need to be respected a little bit because this is the way he has chosen to coach, and it works for him. The teams that he coaches do not have the quality to win titles, but he goes into teams and makes it difficult to beat and prevents relegation for him. And at the point, he carried Burnley to top under the table, top 10, top half. So some respect needs to be put on Sean Dyche's name. He has mastered the art of shutting teams down, and this is a reality. I don't know if you agree with me. What do you think? Do you think Arsenal has enough to challenge for the title this season? I don't think so. If you think so, let me know why you think Arsenal can still win the league. I think with this squad and the way things are right now, it's looking more and more bleak. I know a lot of people say that they see so many games to be played. I believe so, but and I also feel that if you think that Arsenal is still in the title race, Chelsea is seriously in the title race this season. Chelsea needs to be taken seriously as well, because the quality that they have in that team, the options that they have, if they get themselves together defensively, Chelsea are also to be taken seriously. Let me know what you think. Should Chelsea be taken seriously in the title challenge this season, or do you think it's still Liverpool and Arsenal's to lose? And do you think that Manchester City can still come back to this one? I believe they can. I believe City, if Arsenal is still in the race, then Manchester City is still in the race. If they win the game tomorrow, they'll be the same level of points with Arsenal. And it's going to be very, very unfortunate, very, very sad if after all City have done this season, they still finish above Arsenal or the same, or even come and win this league. So let me know what you think. Should City and Chelsea be considered as in the title race this season? And I'll see you next.